Recording in progress.
Welcome, welcome, welcome for our week two, day one of the week two, and day six otherwise of our beautiful course in the miracles. And let's recap chapter number 27 to 37 that we had learned on Friday. So, without further ado, let me scroll up and read this. Okay, here we are. So, it's 27 we done, 28. So 28 was all about going inwards and realizing that above all else, I want to see things differently. 90% what happens is that we have preconceived ideas. We are not even thinking about something new. But this course in miracles is making us go inwards and telling us to look at life differently, to let go of all our stories that we've given to ourselves till now, and just say that whatever's happened before no longer does it hamper today, and it doesn't matter. It is limiting our experience and our inner thoughts. And today I can add infinite value to myself, full of joy, full of happiness, full of hope, by just looking at things differently. Number 29. 29 was again simple and nice. Simple, very, very simple. It says, I learn love isn't everything I see. So, not that we all don't know that love is everywhere, love is paramount, love is universal, yet, the minute we again and again tell our dysfunctional mind that whatever I see has love, even if there is pain, even if it's dysfunctional, I am not afraid. I'm not scared. I'm not looking at a shortcut out of it. I'm seeing that it's coming out of a place of love. So, and I also consciously start choosing that I am only seeing love, love, and love. And whatever's hampering inside, whatever's going on inside the chatter, I just tell it to convert it into love. And that is where the reality starts unfolding, the actual reality, not the one our mind has made. Lesson number 37 was again a very beautiful one. It reminded us that love isn't everything I see because love is in my mind. When I join with what I see rather than what I hold it apart, I lock in the divine buzz. I will be grateful for this connection every chance I get and will therefore have a perfect day. So if we say that love is only in our heart, it's partial work done. If we say love is only in our head, partial work done. But if we start channelizing ourselves into a fact that we see love and we feel love in everything that it is there, and that is when life becomes so much better. And that is when, but the divinity, the divine love, so as to say, starts getting in our life. And when we are grateful for every single moment, that is when the perfect day, so as to say, perfect day unfolds. Lesson number 31. Again, simple. I am not the victim of the world I see. So, a lot of us love to say, मेरे साथ ये हुआ, मुझे वो हुआ, this. Why is that happening? Because unknowingly, our broken system is where we are part of. It taught us fear. It taught us victimhood. It taught us limitations. It taught us so much which is not in favor of our life. It taught us this truth, which is absolutely false. The bigger picture is there, which is miracles and magic. And that we start tapping into when I release myself from this so called cage of being a victim. So, this prison which we have closed ourselves in, we were told to open that prison and see there's a party going on there. And I am in the divine love. I feel love. I see love. And I release, release this beautiful thing called absolute truth, which is all about magics and miracles. Then lesson number 32 was very beautiful again. I think every lesson is beautiful. So it says that we are all Thomas Edison, that I have invented the world I see. The minute we realize that whatever struggle has happened in our life, good or bad, forget just the bad, even the good I've created, even the bad I've created, when I am so capable of creating this entire life that I live in, then I can create a beautiful life that I want to live in. It's as simple as that. So the quantum field is full of waves which have possibility of magics and love and light. It's dancing around, it's in countless states within ourselves in multiple layers. But the minute we are tapping into that frequency, that energy, life starts unfolding. And then we will stop saying, hey, life's a struggle. Hey, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And your life has always disappointed me, and I've really had a problem. Then we'll stop those words and we'll start saying, whatever's happened has happened because of my consciousness then. Today, I'm raising my consciousness to tap into the frequency of the world where energy matters, love matters, light matters, abundance matters. And today, I take a pledge or take a vow, or if you don't want to use heavy words, today I tell myself, I tune myself that the power that governs me is only love and light. And that is when all of us are going to start creating this beautiful, happy, happy, happy world, which will be full of luminosity, light, abundance, and even the passion that you hold for life will start unfolding in whatever age you are in. Whatever you are passionate about will start happening because you're tapped into the infinite energy. Lesson number 33 was again very nice. It says the hangover part 3. All of us, knowingly, unknowingly, are looking at way in a different way. And a simple shift of perception is what will kick our life into being. So we are just going to change that stance, that story, practice that over and over again, and unlock the treasure that the world holds for us, the infinite new possibilities. Lesson 34. Lesson 34 was about telling ourselves that peace is an all purpose elixir. Like, how many of us like to be worked up? How many of us like to feel agitated? How many of us like to be anxious? I'm sure the answer is going to be a big fat zero. Because today's mantra, which we were taught in lesson 34, was that I have this beautiful elixir, which is peace, and I have it all the time in all situations. And no matter what happens, no matter what bad luck looks like, I remind myself again and again and again that I can see peace again and again and again instead of what I am right now focusing on. So, whatever we focus on expands. If we're focused on anything which is dysfunctional, that is expanded, which we've seen. If we focus on love, light, peace, and miracles and magics, and that there are possibility, then it will say, yes, I am there, and you're inviting me. So I'm coming. It's like you're inviting, like in Diwali time, don't we like have Lakshmi Ji and the lights are open. You should be able to see the path to abundance in my house. We light the diyas, raat ko bhi wo diya nahi bujhe. Somebody is checking on to that. Why are we doing that? Only for one day. Because we're showing her the light. But what if the light is there every single moment, every single day, 365 days, 24/7? And when we realize that, then no other day is going to be like, oh, one iconic day. This is a day for this. Because in every day is a day for truth. Every day is a day for miracles. And while you might think that why she's saying again and again this, but she's training our mind in the first 50 lessons to start looking at the world differently than what we have seen. So if we could see peace every day, life is going to again change. Lesson 35. It says, I surround myself with the environment I want. These objects, these people, these circumstances seem to be out there. They seem to exist completely independent of me, what I think, but they are not. So, हमें लगे कि ये चीज ऐसे है ये चीज we of course label things in ourselves and qualities, fine, but if we start unlabeling them and if we start saying that जो भी कुछ exist कर रहा है, we may think they're not in connection with us, but actually we're in the same frequency. So if I had the power to invite them, then I had the power to see how they're working out there. So literally every part and parcel of me is what I perceive. Nothing exists independently of my observations. Everything I see, all alleged separate objects, are linked to my mind, in very surprising and mysterious way. So we were told to see that जो भी हमारे आसपास भी है, our consciousness has led it into our being. Now you will say, why? But this is how it is. Our frequency matters, our energy matters. Wherever we are thinking is what we are inviting. So lesson 36 was a beautiful reminder that why do we stick to the course of miracles year after year? Of course, for many of us, it's the first time, but because first it makes me require to work on myself. It makes me require that actually life is effortless, that I can give up all the nonsensical thoughts and I can invite all the positive thoughts back in my life. It can be, the second is it can happen anywhere. It doesn't have to be like you have to be here in this environment, wherever you are, whether you're holidaying, whether you're at work, you can easily do it. And the third part is when we start following this book again and again, life begins to shift, to change. And the voice which is helping us assist, all sorts of miracles start happening in our life. So this is and the last we read that day, 37, was that our life is a beautiful, magical one. And we are rehearsing a statement again and again. And what is the statement all about? That I am upgrading every single day, every single moment in my life. And the holiness which is there, the eternal holiness, is blessing the world that I live in. And I was asked to keep reflecting on this. And when we realize, she also added in this that until we fully realize that, we are divine, we are holy 100%, and we still believe that whatever is happening for me, and we are no longer sacrificial lambs, nothing is victimhood. And when we start tapping into the worlds and we start looking at the worlds with eyes of gratitude, with love, light, then life is going to become better. But if we again and say everything has a price, everything has a price, yes, price like how? If we think negative, negative will unfold. So the negative is a price. If you think positive and positive is a price, positive is a price. So actually, it's not a price that you have to work towards. It's what you're thinking. And that is how life is changing. Now, today's lesson, today's learning for week 2 and Monday morning, it is lesson number 38, calling all superheroes. Nina Hagen says, we can change the world if we start trusting our own superpowers. Baby Hugh, a popular cartoon character when I was growing up, is a naive, oversized duckling in diapers. Because he has the mentality of a baby, but the size and strength of a sumo wrestler, he inadvertently knocks things over and constantly causes problems. He has no ideas of a superhuman strength. That's us in a nutshell. Our consciousness has the size and strength of a sumo wrestler, but because we don't know it, we squander our abilities and often make a mess of things. Isn't that right? How many of us know that we are born with superpowers? Some of us know, but कभी याद आता है, कभी नहीं आता है. कभी उसको implement करते हैं, कभी भूल जाते हैं. So lesson 38 is a reminder. There's nothing my holiness can't do. Speaks the size and strength of our ability. If you really get this one, if you incorporate this into your everyday thinking, you've mastered the course. It's a reason the law of attraction works. It's a reason there's never enough reason to despair. It's why JC could heal the sick, raise the dead, and walk on water. Now, you'll think, oh, that is like real magic, yeah, being able to walk on water. Oh my God, able to heal the sick. Why? The frequency has matched the divine frequency. And when we tap in, miracles and magics happen. The Murchandani woman that we heard, Murjani, a woman that we heard about, who actually had stage 4 cancer, who was dead, her body was withered, totally gone. When she raised her consciousness, her body healed. She saw all the masters, angels working on her body, and she's gotten up, and doctors are shocked. You were practically dead, and now you're fully healed. How? Shift in consciousness. Are we ready to shift our consciousness? We have to ask ourselves. Course karna is fine. Every day logging in the morning or hearing these sessions online is fine. But are we really looking at changing our psyche, changing our mentality, changing our emotional bandwidth from becoming dysfunctional? Are we ready to become functional? The only reason the world stays the way it is now is because we use our superpowers to stare at things we don't like. We run the data we download it from our culture instead of generating the brilliance we're capable of. Every atom, every molecule, every energy wave of your being pulses with the creative life force. So allow me to paraphrase from the actual lesson itself. Holiness is your superpower. It reverses all laws of this world. It allows you to remove all pain, end all sorrows, solve all problems. It gives you dominion over all things. Ready to don your cape and step out of the phone booth. So if we are ready for these superheroes to emerge, which are lying within our super capacity, nobody can stop us. We'll become unstoppable because we finally tapped into our superpower that I can create any single magic that I want. And you will start seeing that because now it's week 2. This week, you will start having realization that yes, this shift has happened, that shift has happened. The rumble in the jungle inside my head. Jill Whalen says, if you sucked all the thoughts out of your head, you'd find nothing but peace. The ego is a shapeshifter constantly working to throw me off guard. It tries to convince me it's big and scary and powerful and it can get me at any time. Lesson 39. My holiness is my salvation. Provides a simple tool to overcome the ego's default position of bracing for disaster. It tells me in no uncertain terms that my badass holiness will vanquish the ego's very dues. Now, because the ego deals in untruth and rumor, it has to conceal itself to the effective. Ego कब आती है सामने? जब we want it to show. And generally false ego आती है. I, me, am, मेरा. Otherwise, ego is safely guarded because you're trying to project that, oh, I'm not egoistic. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. So whenever I have the presence to do so, I separate myself from the ego's voice by simply observing it. I think about it in third person. That way, I'm not tempted to take the ego's lies as my identity. Ego is false pride. It is not my identity. अगर मुझे कभी आया अरे आई एम सो एंड सो मैं तो मुझे सब पता है इसके बारे में दैट इज ईगो टॉकिंग मुझे सब पता है इसके बारे में oh I know this entire world of spirituality or manifestation or living life with love light if any one of us is saying that then it is simply ego we all students at glass level 0 climbing up in a vision in our being of becoming better versions of ourselves. So, if we allow the ego to take center stage, we are killing the entire essence of this course in miracles by disallowing love, light, magic, abundance to come in our life. So Pam Grout says, I'm asked today to close my eyes for 5 minutes in the morning and evening whenever it's convenient, so I can seek out the ego's many guises uneasiness, depression, anger, fear, worry, attack, insecurity. Now, let me break them down. When you're uneasy, it is because life is easy. When we all follow love light, nothing can be difficult. But when we resist love light, that is when we become uneasy. So anything that makes you uneasy, your ego is coming in the middle. And also understand, I'll give you a very simple and a very ugly example. There are people, a group of men, lecherous men, who are giving very lewd comments, and you're like crossing them, and you're like, now they will attack me, or now they will do this to me, or do that to me. You're uneasy. So what's happening? You're not trusting the process. Same you, same that group of men. The woman before you is snared at and commented on. But when you walk with that confidence that love, light, life is flowing from me, and that positive energy, your aura is like a shapeshifter. It'll have changed you. And those same men will not be able to say what they are because now you're flowing in love, light. Depression. डिप्रेशन कम्स इन, बहुत इजी है बोलना मेरे को तो डिप्रेशन है. you've you've just slunked out of it, na, ki I to can't do anything because I to have depression. So it's very easy way out. Now depression is happening. Why? I heard this very beautiful podcast few days ago where they say that when you start worrying, it's like एक रस्सी है आपके mind print पे बार बार घस रही है, and that is becoming an impression. Worry. It's become a deep-rooted impression. This deep-rooted impression over few years will start giving you depressive thoughts. ये नहीं हो रहा, ये नहीं हो रहा, ये नहीं हो रहा, and whatever lack is happening in the life that multiplies. And when you're doing that unknowingly, fast forward a few years later, depression comes in because the worry was given a lot of, food for thought and grown. The depressive thoughts were given food of thought and grown because we focused on them. Then the final word of depression. And then you start saying, अब तो medicines खानी पड़ती हैं, अब तो ये. But if you have depression, you are the only one who can get out of it. You are the one who's got in it. You're the one who can go. बोलना आसान है, but करना और आसान है if you actually do it. It is not as difficult because all you have to do is tap into yourself, start expanding on gratitude. That is the biggest changer, and then lots of other things are going to follow in. If you're angry, why are you angry? Because you want things to be done like this, but they're not happening like this. They're happening the other way. But can't we see that okay, उसमें भी भलाई होगी. Everything has a reason. If it's not happening my way, it's happening the other way. उसमें और ज़्यादा भलाई होगी. So if we start trusting the process, our mind gets cleared, the dysfunctionality fades away, and we're giving space to goodness to unfold. Fear. Where does fear come from? A place of lack in our life. अगर नहीं हुआ तो मेरा क्या होगा, प्लान बी नहीं हुआ तो, और प्लान ए चला गया तो मैं तो सड़क पे आ जाऊंगा. वारी, बहुत चिंता है यार, पता नहीं क्या होगा. क्या हो जाएगा चिंता करने से, क्या हो जाएगा डर करने से. डर के आगे जीत है, इज अ वेरी फेमस लाइन बाय एड कैंपेन. सो इफ वी स्टार्ट going in the world of love, like we take every single step with positivity कि मैं नया बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ, बिजनेस स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ, या नई लाइफ लिव करना शुरू कर नए नजरिए से, वो सब होगा बहुत अच्छा होगा, जो होगा बहुत अच्छा होगा. इवन इफ आई स्टम्बल, इवन इफ आई फेल, इट विल टीच मी लेसन सो दैट आगे बड़ी मिस्टेक नहीं कर पाऊँ. So isn't that magical? Attack. What is attack? Why do we attack others or get attacked? Again, we are not confident or we are overconfident with the so-called ego. Insecurity. Why insecure? Because security नहीं है. क्यों नहीं है? Because आपने डर को अब जगह दे दी अपने psyche में, consciousness में. So it's very important that we start changing our thought process with a simple attitude of gratitude, with the simple attitude of telling me, Jo hua was just a story that this beautiful storyteller in my mind has created. And I can wipe my blackboard clear and start writing the story that I now want to live. And that story I'm going to write with abundant mindset. And then she says, and to know that whatever complex form these thoughts seem to take, they're not all the same. An attempt to keep me in hell. They are unloving and therefore not true. So अगर हम everything which is negative, everything which is dysfunctional को बोले, they're not true. They're just a story that my mind has made up. There's a big rumble in the jungle that's happening inside my head. This huge thick clutter is happening, and I release it all. I let everything go, and that I tap into the world. Holiness is my salvation. Now, the minute I do that, everything changes. Story changes. Lesson 40. Purple light. So, how many of you understand what purple light is? We have 7 chakras known to the physical, generally known. Those are 13 chakras, and actually much more. But first is violet, right? The one here. Now, what is purple? Purple is the color of divinity. We see a lot of gods, angels, guardians in purple. What is purple light? Let's understand. Bill Murray says, nothing prepared me for being this awesome. It's kind of a shock to wake up every morning and be bathed in this purple light. It has come to my attention there are people out there who think it's important to struggle, to fight, to fix all the problems. You know some? Are you the one? आई एम मिस्टर फिक्स इट. स्ट्रगल तो है, फाइट तो होती है, कोई बात नहीं, हम ये भी मैनेज कर लेंगे. Because they accept the struggle, they accept the fight, they accept that there are problems. But what if the only reason we think we are in trouble is because our thoughts and energy are vibrating at a frequency that doesn't match the bigger thing? Lesson 40. I am blessed as a child of the universe. Each one of us are children, right, of the universe. But if we add the word that I am a blessed child of the universe, it reveals that the purple light Bill Murray is talking about, it's about what all of us are entitled to: being blessed, being happy, being peaceful, being loved and loved and loved. Anything that doesn't line up with that frequency is an illusion, a mirage that we created that we can change simply by picking a different door. As the Course also says, the separated ones have invented many cures for what they perceive to be the ills of the world. But the one thing they do not do is question the reality of the problem. Today, 4 or 5 times an hour, I will question the reality of all my so called problems and bask in the sheer deliciousness of the purple light. Now, I am being guided to talk to you all about the purple shower. So I've talked to many people before about this, even our Sanghamitras. So in the morning or whenever you're taking a shower, like balti se naha rahe hain ya shower se naha rahe hain, when you're pouring that beautiful water on your body, just imagine that the water is a is purple in color, and wherever the water is touching your body, there is a layer of divine protection layer touching your body, top to bottom. And then you tell yourself, whatever is not in God's light is bouncing away from it because it's become a shield. So anything negative is going to bounce out. Anything positive is going to make that protection layer more stronger. So then what's happening is, firstly, you're protecting your aura from anything negative. Secondly, you're invoking in the blessings of the universe that I trust you and I'm protected, I'm guided, and I am going to be in this world of love and light because now that I have this divine layer on me, only divinity is going to unfold. It's a very simple practice. You can even imagine the shower in a meditative state. Maybe today we'll do that, yeah? So that, we can start practicing this again and again, like a physical metaphor. Lesson 41. Get out. Escaping the little house of horrors. Hafiz says, love has befriended me so completely, it has turned to ash and freed me of every concept and image my mind has ever known. Now, isn't that beautiful? Love is all I have. Everything else is now ash. It's all burnt. All my negatives is debris. All my anything which is not of love is no longer there. It's all ashed out. I'm a sucker for a good quote. Probably because I'm a writer and adore words and ideas, I rarely write anything except travel articles without leading off with a quote. A Course in Miracle Lesson 41 says, the divine buzz goes with me wherever I go is chock full of ideas, worthy words of wisdom of for my collection. For example, leave appearances, approach reality. What appears to be in the news in my litany of dislikes, fears, and problems is a hologram of my beliefs. As long as I continue to invent cures for my personal house of horrors, they will continue to star in my reality. But the minute I question their validity, they will disappear. Literally, they will disappear. This is so difficult to believe because like all human beings, I've invested my entire life in the idea of problems. I think it's my mission to eradicate things I do not like. But what if they're not even real? So now we are being told to question the beliefs. कि negatives हैं तो क्या actually negative है? So instead of practicing believing in what the Course calls a heavy cloud of appearance, I will celebrate the fact that divine buzz, the source of all joy goes with me wherever I go. One practice period is all that's required. And I will know that anything that might look like a problem is just me making up a story that will go poof the minute I withdraw my belief. The problem, as his lesson stresses, is not real. So it's not, if nothing is real, anything which is negative is not real, then anything positive is real. So we shift our perspective. Now we've worn those glasses with fear. Take off those glasses and realize that, oh my, I can see the world clearly more now. With the glasses, I was magnifying the negatives. But now without being glassed, I'm actually seeing the world, which is actually a gift. So lesson 42 says, it's all a gift. Nate Staniforth says, my favorite moments shoot certainly full of hopes. They barge in unaccounted and track mud all over the carpets, grab me by my shirt, drag me out in the street, and say, in effect, wake up, you fool, and open your eyes. There is more. So lesson 42 is an RSO, rip that sucker out, that I've chosen to replace with 4 lines today from today's lesson. And these lines are very beautiful. Let's read them once in the morning. My passage through time and space is not at random. I cannot fail in my efforts to achieve the goal of the course. It's a gift that I don't have to do anything. I can receive this gift anytime, anywhere, in any circumstance. Now, the positive me is forced to read these lights in the light of positivity. My passage through time and space is beautiful. I completely succeed in all my efforts to achieve the goal of the course. It's a gift and it is seamless. It flows, it's effortless. I receive this gift anytime, anywhere, in any circumstance I choose for myself. When we start telling ourselves that life is beautiful, life is in a flow state, I am in a flow state, and life is a gift, it's going to give me blessings, magics, miracles. मुझे कुछ करना ही नहीं अपने आप आएगा and हर समय हर moment is potential and हर circumstance में आएगा. What better? What better? When I ask to see things differently, as the course suggests, I turn the light on all thoughts that cause me pain. And like cockroaches, those thoughts began to scatter. The Indian household people may know, right? That cockroaches infestation, when it happens in the kitchen, when you come at night or in the morning, the minute you switch on the lights, they scatter away. If these cockroaches were man-made, our thought made, and now they no longer exist because the light has come and the darkness has faded. And when we say that nothing, my anger, guilt, frustration, even death makes me any less worthy of my gift, my thoughts, what the Course calls ego, tries to tell me I'm not worthy, that it's okay to feel certain things. But today, I vow to separate myself from my thoughts just a little, teeny little. The trick is to simply observe them, not adopt them as an identity. As I learn to be gentle with myself, often the hardest thing to do, I find there's no need to find my happier self or to cut the anger from my psyche. The truth about myself can't be changed by my judgments, my opinions, my beliefs that something's not okay. For today, as often as I can, I will breathe and know that whatever train of thoughts flows through my head is all okay. So, rewiring our brains. Lesson 43. Super God to the rescue. Elizabeth Berg says, it didn't really come up that much. The need to yodel. When George Eastman introduced the first commercially available camera in 1888, he had a goal. He wanted to make photography an everyday affair, or as his company Eastman Kodak later rephrased it, to make it as convenient as a pencil. The marketing slogan was, you push the button, we do the rest. That's sort of how A Course in Miracles is all about. Now, Eastman in 1888 invented the camera to capture the good or the bad of all the moments which are required. Today, it's a reality, right? Every smartphone has a camera. You can click anything, anytime. You just have to push the button even now. That was a marketing slogan then. It's even true now. The Course of Miracles is also very simple. It is telling each one of us every single morning, I don't have to understand it. I don't even have to like what it says. I just have to push the buttons. Lesson 43. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him is another RSO. It's one of those lessons I don't like all that much. It's preachy and strikes me as not much fun. Remember, we were told that if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. So some people may say, Arey, this is boring. So Pamraj says, here's what I do when I feel grumpy about one of the lessons. First, I flip through the text and find one of the lines I've underlined, one that I do like. For example, today I open to, only you can deprive yourself of anything. The laws of happiness were created for you. Lack does not exist in the kingdom of God. Secondly, I replace the word God, which I have mentioned earlier, has more baggage in Chicago airport with one of my trusty synonyms. Next, I turn my day over to the Holy Five, aka the voice, relying on an unseen badass that happens to be holy as much more desirable than turning it over to the vicious brute that some churches pontificate about. And here's the clincher. In the end, none of it's up to me. I just have to push the button. If we all just push the button and switch off to switch on and tap into the divine energy, the divinity in and around us, that surrounds us, that stays within us, we are in a mission of only creating a life that's going to be so divine, so magical, so beautiful, full of miracles, because by now we have trained ourselves to see the miracles. Lesson 44. Go towards the light. Mary Carr says, there's more joy than I knew. Pam Grout says, I'm not psychic, but I'm pretty sure that 100 years from now, hopefully sooner, future generations are going to look back at our belief in separation and limits and wonder, what were they even thinking? How could they have been so misinformed? They'll scratch their heads at our refusal to live in the light to celebrate our joy in much the same way as we look back at the Roman circuses. Are you kidding me? We think. How could thousands of people sit around drinking wine and being entertained by lions rippling gladiators apart? They'll consider it as laughable curiosity that we treated ourselves this way, that we chose to suffer when right on the other side of the veil is everything we could possibly want. So, lesson 44, the dude is a light in which I see, basically tells me it's far more radical to live in light than to live in despair. So, it's $1 million thought. We are living in a world of lack because we are not realizing the potential of the world, which is full of giving. There's no lack, there's abundance everywhere. And yet we are choosing to live in despair, lack of abundance. So, can we shift our mindset? The side effect of despair and limitation is I live at half throttle. By not delighting in my inherent gifts, I actually live out the outdated Roman circus like notion that I'm weak and incapable of creating my life. Future generations will also wonder, will also consider it freakishly odd that we felt so guilty we didn't have time to enjoy the fun and joy in which we were entitled to. They won't understand why we didn't relish in our creative powers. They'll puzzle, they had the amazing gift and they left it sitting in the corner unwrapped. For what it's worth, future generations, I'm doing my part in 3 to 5 minute practice periods to proclaim my light and spend my day in unadulterated wonderment. If everything has love and light, then why am I bothered? Then my body, whatever negatives it's holding, are going to turn into positives the minute I tap into this infinite world of love and light. Because it's at a not even a hands arm's distance away. It's here, right here. All I have to do is just look into it and tap it into it. Because that's the light, that's love. Lesson 45. Like housebreaking a puppy. Kenny Loggins tells us We all long for love. Everything else is just killing time. ऐसा नहीं है क्या कि all of us are asking for validation. I should be liked, I should be loved, I should be complimented. Everybody loves validation. But do we actually validate ourselves? Like saying your name, whatever your name is. Okay, like I'll use my example. Prachi, I love you. You are incredible. You are divine. Do we talk to ourselves with love light? Do we see ourselves with love and light? Do we look at the image in the mirror and say, hey, I love you? Or do we look at a hand which we can see and say, hey, I love you? If we ourselves can't give ourselves love, infinite love, then how can we expect others to love us? We've talked about this before, that there are few people who love themselves unconditionally, and such people are doing so well in their life. Why? Because they love themselves so much, others are forced to love themselves and or be in wonderment and awe. Arey, how does this person work the way they do? Training my mind to think with source is like housebreaking a puppy. I keep taking it back outside and showing it a different reality until one day it finally realizes, wow, there's a whole big world out there. It's a lot more fun to pee on trees and bushes and fire hydrants than on Pam Grout's ratty old house slippers. On a daily basis, I instruct my mind to look for beauty, encourage it to seek out the bigger picture, to focus on the love. My mind is an incorrigible slacker, keeps wanting to return to familiar old ruts, keeps listening to the spin doctor that looks at the world as a potentially scary place. Insists on focusing on the information from my five senses, from the news media, from the default setting, and says, be careful, worry, don't even think about learning to trust. If only the Indian newspapers or the newspapers across the world could have page one of celebrating happiness, joy, and giving good news and talking about superheroes. Then, when our morning, when we first read, we only read that. Well, what do we read? About war. Somebody castrated somebody, somebody murdered somebody, this child killed this person, was drunk, was underage. What are we doing? And then our five senses are kicking in. Arey, be careful. Oh, the world out there is scary. That is the reason a lot of philosophers, guides, mentors, teachers say, please do not read newspapers. Or simply go to the section that you like, maybe the sports section or some other section. Because this so called information is useless. If we want to keep listening to this unnecessary, unrequired from information, then we are not allowing ourselves to tap into the world of love light. Then we are being told again and again, be careful, worry, don't even think about learning to trust. Why? So if we want to rewire, reprogram our minds, we have to focus on the truth. What is truth? That everybody in the world really loves each other and the kindness is always the correct answer. Have you seen that accidents are happening? कोई किसी को बिना जाने पहचाने उठा के अपनी गाड़ी में रख के लेकर जा रहा है कहीं पर. And of course, have you seen that there is a group of onlookers who are just seeing तमाशा लगा हुआ है क्या हो रहा है. So both the sides exist. And the person who's taking the person, an unknown person who's had an accident in his car, is believing in divinity, is not bothering कि police क्या बोले क्या नहीं बोलेगी. His param dharma at the moment is to help the needy. He's flowing in the world of love, light, empathy, compassion. And he's not worrying about, he's not being careful about what he's trusting. So if we all start trusting, so I just keep taking it back outside, directing it to focus on what I know to be truth, that everybody in the world really loves each other and that kindness is always the correct answer. I repeated this because I want this to get ingrained in our life, that the world is a place that you can trust, that the life is flowing for me, the universe has my back. Everything happens for the correct reasons. I'm always at the right place at the right time, and all the right unfolds for me at all given points of time. If I reprogram myself like this, nothing can stop me from anything. When I choose kindness and generosity in whatever situation I find myself, to whomever happens to be in front of me, It opens a crack to see a whole different reality. जितना हम अच्छा करेंगे उतना हमारे साथ अच्छा होगा. Forget what the world is resonating and what frequency are they at. आपने अपने माइंड का फ्रीक्वेंसी कहाँ सेट किया है? रेडियो में फ्रीक्वेंसी सेट करनी पड़ती है ना टू ट्यून इनटू सम चैनल. What channel are you at? That tiny twist, a smile, offering a hand, even just being generous in thought, changes the inner landscape. It reminds me, here's how the world could be. Generosity doesn't fit the narrative, not in a me world. And that's the very thing that shakes up the old story, the dominant paradigm. And anytime that puppy starts heading towards those slippers, I simply pick it up and take it back outside. If we finish off the old programming and we rewrite the new program, life is going to be so much more magical. Lesson number 46, the F word for beginners. Paul Selig says, leave your fear for the train stations. According to A Course in Miracles, forgiveness is an always available get out of jail free card. It's the answer to damn near everything. The problem is we don't really understand what it means. Forgiveness doesn't tell me to overlook something someone did to me. The F word, according to the Course, means it's impossible for anyone to do something to me, for me to think, even for a brief moment, that I understand the world from the tiny bits of my perception is an epic fail. Now just see what a beautiful twist to the story. हम forgive करते हैं कि अरे उसने अपनी consciousness से हमारे साथ किया, अच्छा उसमें वो low resonate कर रहा होगा, so oh let's forgive. But if we look at the other story, the other side of the coin, nobody can do anything to me until I allow them to do it to me, and I have unnecessarily become the victim and made him or her the demon. Then the narrative changes completely. All I can see, I will ever see, is what the viewfinder of my limited perception shows me. If my perception is fixed, nothing can come between the goal that it has chosen. Let's say I choose the perception that so and so is a misogynistic asshole. Is that perception stays fixed, meaning I refuse to forgive nothing, not a miracle, not a sign, not an evidential slap in my face allows any other reality to manifest. Likewise, if my perception is convinced that money is hard to come by, the world's unlimited abundance cannot get through my blockade, it's right there, eager to unfold in my life, but my perception has put up orange cones. Forgiveness means, let's reread this. Forgiveness means knowing my perception is forever tiny and incomplete. Forgiveness is to defy that lie that something is wrong, that life blows, and that so and so is a horrible, evil person. The best feature of forgiveness is that it relieves me of having to make judgments. Knowing I can't and don't understand the whole relieves me of having to decide what's good and bad, decisions I am incapable of making. It literally sets me free. Today, I use my get out of jail free card during these 5-minute practices periods. I close my eyes, think of all the douchebags I have yet to forgive, and repeat this phrase: Source is the love in which I forgive. Not many of us will be able to tap into this beautiful saying. But if we realize that किसी के साथ कुछ भी हुआ has happened because consciousness was that at that level, and we have given it terms of I have been wronged, or I have wronged, or my consciousness was this at that time. Nothing can happen without my permission, emotional, mental, physical, or spiritual. So if we tap into that world and we tap into this beautiful thing that source is the love in which I forgive, everything changes in my life. We will read the chapter 47, the lesson 47 until 50 tomorrow and conclude the first part of the book. And if we are guided, we will start the second part. Otherwise, just talk about these 7 days of newness in our life, right? So today, let's meditate with a different facet, with a different thought process in our heart, in our mind, and understand that each one of us is resonating at a different wavelength. And all we have to do is change the wavelength, change whatever is happening. And then life will just become beautiful. All right. When we plant this garden of love, light, potentiality, tomorrow is going to be so much more beautiful because each one of us is going to be tapping in this wonderful world of just relaxation, loving, living, and tapping into life, which is so beautiful. Can you hear the music? Yes or no? You can. Okay, lovely. Let's close our eyes, get our backs comfortable, become straight. You can support your back if required. Today, try and keep your legs, your feet firmly placed on the ground below without any footwear if possible, directly touching the floor. Your hands either crossed or in the divine mudra or open and receptive facing heavens above, whatever you're guided to. Some people cross them because they believe that that's very comfortable. But if we uncross them, we're opening ourselves to magics and much more. Take a deep breath in, fill your body with love, light, hope, abundance, and much more. And gently release all the toxic energy, the victimhood, the so called forgiveness, the attitude of ego, or all things not of godly light. Take another deep breath in. Fill your bodies with confirmation, with hope, with conviction that I am here to change my life for the better by flowing in the world of love. And release all the burden which came from hate, dislike, despair, or fear. The third time, the last time for this morning, take a conscious breath in, filling your bodies with love, light, abundance, joy, gratitude, the divine purple light, and release the feelings of fear, anxiety, worry, depression, lack, and all things dark. Just release. Feel these energies leaving your every inch of the body through your skin, through whatever it's meant to be. Just feel it flowing down and into Mother Earth. And now, scan your body top to bottom. Feel the air at top of your head, maybe the fan, the AC, the cooler, or maybe just Mother Earth playing with you. Little wind. Be grateful for that feeling of comfort. Scan your eyes that can now see the world beautifully. Scan your nose. For now, it can smell the niceness, the positivity, feeling of just living in a joyful way. Scan your mouth. It only takes in food which is of God's light. Only speak of things which is of God's light. Scan your neck. It holds you tall and strong, living in the world of love and light. Your shoulders. Release all the excess baggage from your shoulders, whatever weight you're carrying on. Just release. There's a backpack you've worn for years, full of this negative emotions. Just release it. Unstrap. Take it off. Physically, if you feel you want to shrug it off, do it. Scan your chest, your heart. Now my heart is ready to take in the world of magics, miracles, love, gratitude, light, abundance. Feel that feeling of happiness. Scan your stomach, all the undigested particles which has warned us. You can't trust everyone. You can't do this. You can't do that. Whether we have told ourselves or people have told ourselves, all that is sitting heavy in your stomach, just squeeze it out physically and release all of that, maybe through your navel, maybe through other parts of yourselves. Release all that unnecessary thing out of your body. It may feel like it's an effort, so much is going inside. It's like scoop it out of you. The way you scoop out from a jar something which is low and deep inside. Simply scoop out all things negative physically and just take it out and throw. Throw. Imagine you're sitting next to a river. All the negative, the heavy, the dense, dark energies in from your stomach, you're taking them out and throwing into Mother Water. 70% of Earth is Mother Water. 70% of us is water. Mother Water heals. Give her all the unnecessary because a mother is always there to take over the negatives, convert them into positives. So your negatives are going to dissolve the minute they touch this water or Mother Earth. From your lower part, release all which is unnecessary, the insecurity, the fear. They start coming in the root chakra in your first 6 years of being. So all the conditioning, whether it was given to you when you were in your mother's womb or as you took birth, the trauma, maybe of being slapped, hung upside down for you to be able to breathe, maybe the doctor pinching your nose so that you can breathe, all that felt that the world is opposite me, against me. Release that insecurity from your root chakra. Release. Again, scoop it out of your system. Just release. Now scan your legs. They're holding so much weight for you to be able to stand tall. Release them of the unnecessary burden of the world, of worrying, of thinking. Release, release, release. Scan your ankles, your feet. All that no longer serves me is releasing through my feet into Mother Earth. Feel your feet releasing all the negatives, like a flow, a stream of negatives. All the dark energies are just flowing out of you. If you wish, you can leave your hands next to your side as if you're just dropping them, and the hands and the feet both are working in tandem, releasing all the excess information, excess baggage, excess emotions, excess thought processes, and all that is not of God's world. And if you don't believe in God, think of whatever is not in love and light. Release, release, and release. And now, from your feet, imagine roots are growing in. You'll become a tree. And this beautiful tree is growing its roots. And these roots have taken the shape of vines, little vines. And new roots are right now being created, are growing into Mother Earth to ground you completely, to give you a beautiful, strong foundation. And what we are pouring into Mother Earth is gratitude. Feel the gratitude going up from your roots into your being. You're sowing in love. Feel the love flowing in your body through the roots. We are giving it light. Feel your body being lit up. Abundance. Feel the abundance emanating from Mother Earth going into you through your roots. Tranquility, peace. Feel the peace entering your being. Joy. Your feet have become so beautifully grounded, strong, because roots have taken place and taken full firm attention to Mother Earth. And whatever you're sowing Mother Earth with, the seeds that you're nurturing it, watering it, they are coming back into you. And these beautiful qualities of love, light, magic, miracles, abundance are now coming from down to up. Feel them flowing in your body. Just the way when you fill something, the level rises. Imagine a glass of water. When you start putting water from above, the level from below starts rising. Your source is Mother Earth, feet. So your water level is rising from below to top, but it's being fed from the bottom. Ground zero to up. Feel your entire body, your hips, your lower back, upper back, your stomach, your heart, your arms, all being filled with God's light. And now, as you go up, reaching your topmost, your head, feel the chakra there, the one that pulses when a small child is just born. Feel the purple divine light flowing from heavens above, covering every single inch of your physical body with a thick protection layer. Now, this layer will not allow anything negative to come. It'll reflect out, bounce back every single negative thought, action, or deed. I am protected. I am blessed. I am grateful. I am thankful. I'm the universe's favorite child. Life flows for me. I'm always at the right place at the right time. Whatever lessons I've learned have only made me stronger, better, and making me help becoming a better version of myself. I tap into my wellness, into my wonderment. I'm a divine blessed child. I only see things with the lens of love and light. And whenever a wrong thought comes, I simply clear off by telling myself, time to flip my switch. When I saw the glass half empty, the same me now sees the glass half full. I trust the process. Whatever negative has happened to me happened because of my consciousness then. but my consciousness now is divine. And this beautiful belief, physically touch your entire body from top to bottom, again touching the divine protection layer, feeling it, blessing your entire body, your consciousness with the divinity. Feel it. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let's thank all the angels, guardians, ancestors for blessing us this morning to raise our consciousness, to start this beautiful week with more abundance, with the mindset of love and light, and end this year with so much more gratitude. March is often called the financial year end. So maybe all our karmic debts we release and we do not take them forward in the next year. Release, release, release. Be thankful for this beautiful magical life that we are now bringing upon us. Let's rub our hands together and bless our face. And if you wish, bless your body once again. And open the eyes by blessing everybody. So much love, light, and blessings to everybody. May we all become channels of love, light, and blessings. Have a beautiful, blessed week, blessed life, and I shall see you very soon, tomorrow, same time, same place. If anybody has anything, you can raise a hand. Otherwise, put the question in the group and we will talk about that tomorrow. You want to say something, Pratimaji? No. Okay, perfect. Lots of love. See you tomorrow. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody.